Welcome to another The Reset Girl journal with me, and I'm still working in the summer junk journal. And here I've got the Maggie Holmes Flourish 6x8 paper pad and the double crochet lace EK Success punch. I'm going to punch two sides of this Maggie Holmes paper, and I want to create a strip that I can house my two 2x3 photos on. So I like the newsprint style background. Has a real junk journal feel, but it's scrapbooking paper. There's my two photos. I have used these two photos previously in my Hobonichi, but I'm telling a different story today. So it's okay for me to use the same photos because there's another story that I wanted to tell. So I'm using this American Crafts 3x4 paper bag. It's a brown paper bag, and I've got a Reset Girl card, journaling card on top of it from the Wanna Craft collection. And this is my junk journal. I'm just bringing it back into the shot here because I wanted to make sure that this left side of the page was going to coordinate with what I have on the right. So that's an American Crafts twine roll, and I'm trying to decide if I should change bags or add something. I feel like it needs something. I wasn't really happy with how the left was looking, this left page. So I'll just go kind of tear off the end here and go about kind of moving everything around and jostling everything into position. And sometimes you just have to, if it's not working and I'm at an impasse of what to do, I'll just move on to another portion of the layout. So in this case, that's the right hand side. Or you can rifle through some stuff on your desk. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So I'm looking at washi tape of previous pages in my junk journal. I'm trying to get other bits from the Wanna Craft collection, and I think, well, if I get out more products, I'll like it better, right? I think what I wasn't liking was the flow and the way the photos are on the left-hand side of that dark strip. So I'm going to eventually move that dark strip over to the left and the photos over to the right next to the paper bag. And here I've decided to move on to the right-hand page, and I think it was that I finished the left-hand side. I did that off camera. My battery ran out before I finished it, and I didn't realize it shut off. But you can see one little tip I'll give you is to add some of the stickers. So the clear matte stickers that I printed from the Reset Girl Wanna Craft collection, those florals, the mustard color florals, I just laid those directly on the newsprint kind of back or text paper background. And I like how those look. They kind of added 3 areas of focal point, 3 areas of embellishment. So I'm using my Heidi Swap. That is a tool that you use. It's kind of like a squeegee. You kind of use it to lay the texture paste through one of her silk screens. So I like to use that to burnish my adhesive. So I'm adding this Reset Girl card to a piece of cardstock just so it'll be sturdy enough to come out of that pocket. So there you go. So the great thing about these pre-made bags from American Crafts, these are 3x4, but they're a little bit bigger so that your 3x4 journaling cards fit in them. So this is going to be a combo junk journal pocket. That text paper in the background is a part of a pocket that I created. And then the right hand side will have photo pockets. So this will be a pocket page scrapbooking and junk journaling combo. So I'm flipping again through the 6x8 Flourish paper pad here, just seeing what I can add. I need a hole reinforcer paper, so I didn't want to add any of those or cut into those large, so I use this scrap from a previous project here. And I like the coral color because there's not very much of the coral color on the layout. It's mostly navy, mustard, and some of the teal or turquoise. So I'm going to add the hole reinforcer punch from the We Are Memory Keepers punch, and I'm going to add this. I put it on my grid mat to find the center there, just on that center line. And then I'm going to dab up the excess glue. That's the express glue from American Crafts and Sticky Thumb. So I just dabbed up the extra. Once this has a couple seconds to dry and grab, I'll reach for my hole punch and punch out the center. This is an EK Success heavy duty hole punch. So there you see, now I have a tag, and I'm going to use this twine from American Crafts to create the pull for the top. So that way you can take this out of the pocket and read the journaling. So I'd like to call this kind of photo safe junk journaling. So I've got items that look like old textbook paper, but it's actually scrapbook paper, and I've got photo pockets to store the photos in, and everything that's touching the photos is photo safe. So this card from the Reset Girl is going to house most of the journaling for this left hand side. And here you can see I'm trying to decide which 3x4 cards are going to work, and that is a 1-inch circle punch from the Paper Punch Buffet, and this is a Maggie Holmes. I went through 2 Project Life core kits from Maggie Holmes, so I used the Gather, and I also used the Open Book core kit. And Squirrel Moment, now I have to flip through these. These are the printables from the Camp Wanna Craft and the Wanna Craft kit. So there's lots of bonus files in here. There's so much that you can use, and I really like these florals printed on the clear sticker paper because I'm pointing to that area down there. I want a third area of the florals. So those mustard florals, I'm going to cut another little bunch of them here because I felt like it needed to be balanced. And the embellishment cluster with the camera and the circle, I'll add a floral to that too. And I really like the way these clear stickers go over the texted paper on the background. It almost looks as if these are printed on, and gives a more vintage feel, it just looks more junk journal-y to me. So that's why I'm adding this. And because I like to work in odd numbers, I definitely wanted to add a third sticker. So I like that it creates some movement. There's a triangle of these florals around the page. You see the top left, on the right at the top of that 3x4 bag that holds the 2 journaling cards, and then down here at the bottom near the camera. That camera is also from the Wanna Craft printables, and I'm just trying to peel off the paper from the backing, and I cut it flat so that I can use the other half of that floral sticker. I don't want to waste anything, so I'm going to use the other half of that floral sticker on another section or another project, and this is going to go over the place where the hole is so that it can fit in the snap binder. So all I'm going to do to create a solution for that is to snip off the leaves, and then I'm going to add them back down a little bit lower. And I love the way those look. I'm going to hold it up so you can see a little bit better there how the left hand side is going. And I like some of the items are outside of pockets, some are inside of pockets. So there you can see that leaf cluster. I'm going to add it back onto the paper because, again, I don't want to waste any of this. I'm using that Heidi Swap tool to burnish the sticker down onto the background paper. And I'm using a Design 3 from Becky Higgins pocket page. It fits in both the snap binders and the Heidi Swap album. This is the 3x4 card from the Reset Girl Wanna Craft collection. This one is from Maggie Holmes Gather Project Life Core Kit, and this one is from Maggie Holmes Open Book Project Life Core Kit. And so those are 2 different Project Life Core Kits. They do have the rounded corners, but that I'm not bothered by that because there's some square corners on the left side, so I kind of feel like the one square cornered Reset Girl card kind of balances with the one on the left-hand page. So I'm going to trim off a little bit more since this is a little bit bigger than the Project Life cards. I'm just going to trim it off a little bit. That way I'll be sure it'll fit in the pocket. And I like the kind of antique linen color there. And the mustard on the florals from the Maggie Holmes Open Book, the 4x6 for the bottom. There's my photos, and I really feel like I should have printed these photos 3x4, but I had already printed them for another project, and I thought, you know what, this junk journal needs to I just got to use it or lose it, man. I just got to get it done here. So I punched another 1-inch circle from that Maggie Holmes 6x8 flourish paper to match the left hand side there. And so I'm going to journal about that Father's Day card that I made on that card. And then I believe I do journal on camera, so I went off and hand lettered that thrift store. And then I'm going to journal on and fill this entire card, and it might get cut off, but I do have the finished project photos. You will be able to see the journaling on the Project Life cards on the right, and the finished photos show you how everything came together. You pretty much get the gist of what is going on over on the right hand side, and I'm going to underline. I kind of did a hand lettering thrift store. I did the hand lettering in thrift and then the capital letters for the word store. And I'm just talking about how this photo reminds me of the reflection I have on the connection with my daughter, and how that's also a connection that reminded me of growing up as a kid, spending time in the craft stores and going around with my mom and grandma. So I really like how this journaling turned out. I love working in this summer junk journal with the Watercraft and Maggie Holmes Flourish collection papers. Thank you so much for joining me, and you can see the journaling on the right hand side here, where I added some more hand lettering and just journaling under each photo. So thanks so much for joining me. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. Bye!